Welcome to the Touchline Football Explained, and we're back again with the last round or the last match day of the quarterfinals. But this time it's Czech Republic versus Denmark and Ukraine versus England. So, uh, how do you guys feel about it? Let's start with Nandi today.
Yeah, Abhishek. I mean, after watching the matches last day, the tournament has already summed up, and it's heating up. The semi-final is coming, so I'm a bit saddened as well because we are almost at the end of this show and almost at the end of this particular tournament. So the expectations are really high from those last few, or I guess five matches, two from this quarterfinal and two semi-final and one final. So if we look at this first match of Denmark versus Czech Republic, this has been some inspirational display from both the teams. With what happened to Christian Eriksen at the first match day,
Yeah.
Denmark's rise has been phenomenal. I am falling short of words to praise them, and also the way Czech Republic have played. Yes, they had some talented players, but the way Patrick Schick has turned out to be in this particular tournament reminds me of their legendary Shevchenko. So that's what from this particular match. And if you go through the next match, yeah, of course, my team England is playing, and their display against Germany was really, really good. I am really happy with that, and I'm hoping for similar display against Ukraine. And also, we can't take Ukraine lightly. Ukraine has been also in really, really good form. Yeah, you can say that Sweden would have been a bit unlucky with that red card, or maybe that was a harsh tackle or something like that. But otherwise, they played really well, and that match could have. You can't say that that was an unfair result. So I'm really looking for a great match day again.
Right. Nila, what do you think of what do you make of today's match? Is there a upset that we can look forward to, or is it a said and done thing? Nila, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't
you're
rule
right.
out any upsets actually, but I'm hoping that this is going to be a cakewalk for England. Like things are going to be easy for them because they would have struggled if that opponent team decided to sit back like Croatia did. But looking at Shevchenko's style of play, I don't think they're going to do that. But all I can say is that we have got an entertaining match on our hands. Like both the matches are going to be interesting.
All right. So let's talk about the first match, Czech Republic versus Denmark. Uh, what are the who are the standout players in this particular fixture?
Uh, for the Czech Republic, what I can say from today's two matchups, the Czech Republic versus the Denmark match will be the more interesting one for me. I don't like the brand of football that England plays. It's not much, not very entertaining. The type of Nandi can laugh, but the type of play what England plays is not like Italy used to do before Mancini. So it's not very attractive to watch, but they get the results.
Yeah.
So I think for me the today's first match will be more interesting, and for them obviously the main players Denmark are the favorites. Running they absolutely run past Wales, scoring four goals. Scoring four goals against Wales is not an easy one. There's Wales did pretty well in the group stages. The change that mostly worked for Denmark in that match was changing. What is the name of the player? Forgot. Leipzig player.
Who are you talking about?
The Leipzig striker.
Patrick.
Paulsen. Paulsen.
Okay, Paulsen. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Paulsen.
Paulsen, yeah. So, not starting Paulsen and giving Dolberg the chance really was a best thing that happened. He scored two goals. Paulsen wasn't in his best form, so it was a very good move. And as we can see from today's lineup, also that was very obviously. If you are getting
Yeah.
a first chance and you are scoring twice, then obviously you will get to start the second match. And the thing about Czech Republic is Czech is also a very good team. The thing Czech did against against Netherlands was that they were pressing really good. Thomas Pols and Soucek. So both of them went brilliant, completely shutting out Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum was I think Wijnaldum is one of the most crucial player of Netherlands in the group stages, and they both of them
Absolutely.
completely cut him out.
Yeah.
There were no the thing that Netherlands thrives on is passing triangles that they make in the midfield. Both Hollis and Socek, especially Hollis, the pressure that Hollis put on Wijnaldum completely, what can I say, like paralyzed the move of Netherlands. So they are also a very good team. The 3-4 players of like the I think most of the attacks that will occur from the right side. They have Kofal, Masopos, and obviously Sheik up front. Kofal and Masopos both are the main attacking threats. They both of them do really great overlapping runs and put nice crosses and deliveries for Sheik. And Sheik has been one of the best strikers. Like if, after Ronaldo and Lukaku, the best forward of this tournament.
So
Uh,
let's go through the lineup, Abhishek.
yeah, just before we go through the lineup, won't you consider Insigne as one of the like best forwards in
No,
this
I like
tournament?
forwards. I was just saying like the
Striker.
strikers, like the center
All right.
forwards, not
Center
Okay.
forward.
Center forwards. Yeah, makes sense. Let's go through the Czech lineup. This is how Czech Republic is going to
like.
line up. Pretty much predictable, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
the same
absolutely.
lineup. I think this is the same lineup as they went against the Netherlands. So that the tried and tested formula. Obviously,
Yeah.
then what I said earlier, the right side is their main attacking threat, Kofal and Masopust, and the bombing runs of Soucek, which we have seen in the Premier League also. The runs that he does in the like he continuously. He's a kind of player that he doesn't have very much moves. He's a
Yeah.
player that has a single set of moves, and still defenders have trouble coping with that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that he'll make a box in there, run in the box, but no one is able to like completely mark him, and he really
It
gets into
reminds me
great
of
positions.
Robin. Reminds me of
Yeah,
Robin. Everybody knows what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
But
And
it's
one
unstoppable.
thing is one thing I like about this Czech lineup is that they are good with chance conversion. I
Okay.
have seen many teams, many big teams like Spain,
Yeah.
squandering the chances after chances, and
Yeah, absolutely.
and they are making the matches pretty tough for them. So for this particular Czech lineup is really good with whatever chances they are getting. If try to remember that against Scotland totally dominated the game. Their midfield was good, their wing play was good in the first half, and suddenly they scored a goal. Of course, the
Yeah.
second goal was a worldie, and could have been that could not have been replicated on any other day. But the thing is, that is their gameplay. I mean, they will hit you on counters, and they will try to take whatever chances they are getting, and that's what football is, and that's how you approach a good knockout tournament. And they are whatever round they have been, that's PT deserving. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing about this lineup.
So let's head over to Denmark's lineup. Uh, again, pretty
no
solid, I
changes.
think.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing is, as I was talking about the chances, Denmark has been another team who have squandered chances. I know they have scored four in last two matches, but try to remember against Belgium, they had a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Braithwaite missed few sitters.
Goat
Their
weight.
headers,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
Okay, okay.
Poulsen.
So yeah, even Paulsen. So they are. I mean,
That's why
their
they
chances
were
was
going
going
for
out and out.
Tolberg.
Absolutely, and the thing is, against Belgium they missed, and then De Bruyne came and changed the complexion of the match, and that can happen actually. That's how actually they can be beaten by Czech. If they do not take the chances on time, then anything can happen, and their inspirational displays could be gone in vain.
Absolutely. Before we get into the dynamics of the game, we have a couple of comments. Let's go through
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
Uh, Prakar Bhattacharji says, yesterday Feasty predicted right 1-2 for Italy. Yes, he did. And as we said, the curse has been broken. Switzerland just didn't keep up with the nerve. Those penalty misses are only for that. What are your views on this particular comment?
What can I say? The penalty were both sided. Both of the sides were horrendous in the penalties. Uh, Goalkeeper were very good. What can I say? Goalkeepers were good. Sommer was absolutely brilliant. Sommer may be the best goalkeeper of this tournament. But the chances, like the penalties which they took, like the penalty of Vargas. Vargas, like you have to hit the target. You can't just you in the penalty shooter somehow or another. You need to hit the target.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one thing I don't understand why many of the teams take this strategy of keeping their best penalty taker for the last one or two kicks, like they did last day. I guess Ricardo Rodriguez did not shoot his penalty because he was the fifth man. So that's what happens when you keep your best penalty taker for the last kick, and your not so good penalty takers take those chances and they couldn't convert. So the pressure comes into your team. So if your base penalty taker comes onto the first place, then you have an advantage. Like the first shot was a save. So if they were 1-1 and they were 2-1, they were up, then the complexion of the game could have changed. So that's what I feel Switzerland got their antics a bit of the penalty tactics a bit wrong. Otherwise, whatever Switzerland have done, it's pretty deserving and pretty commendable as well. I mean, with that particular squad. And one thing I feel is that Shaqiri, I don't know, Shaqiri had a knock or something like that, but Shaqiri could not have been substituted at that particular time. I mean,
But
if the injury was
yeah,
not that, if I don't know
he
whether
could
the
have been
injury.
No,
useful in
it's
the
a go through
penalties.
Absolutely,
tactic. It's a go
absolutely.
through tactic. They always sub Shakiri after 60 or 70 minutes. I don't know why. They are
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
best
but
players.
absolutely, that's what I want to say. I mean, when how you are substituting your best player of the match. I mean, he just scored a goal, and that could have been a better tactics of keeping him and not going for that old formula of going into the penalties. They could have actually won the match, and the red card was a pretty. I mean, what can I say? It was not for me. It was not a red card, I guess.
Not red.
So
It's a yellow card.
absolutely. So
Spain,
the
Spain's
referee
penalty
got it
tactics
wrong.
were yeah, and Spain's penalty tactics were also not good. Like Busquets never took a penalty before
Abs-
yesterday.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When there is Aspilicueta and Aspilicueta almost takes every penalties for Chelsea when there is a penalty shootout. You can't send a player that hasn't hit a single penalty.
Absolutely.
Actually, like Spain's choice, like Spain's lineup for the penalties was shambolic, but we have to give credit where it's due to Unai Simon. Penalty more times than not is a tactic, like is a mental battle, and tougher for the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper obviously is at a disadvantage in a penalty. And if you notice yesterday's penalties, most of the Swiss players tried hitting on the right side of the goalkeeper, and all three saves were probably made on the right side of the goalkeeper. So there was a mental battle going on between Unai Simon and the Swiss penalty takers, and he came out on top.
Absolutely, I agree with it. Prakhar Bhattacharya says, I told Insigne will score as well as I predicted Immobile is too, but he got called from Srijit Mukherjee before the match for audition. All right.
Yeah, possibly.
So this is a West Bengal joke that people outside West Bengal won't get. Uh,
Yes.
but but then, guys, this is actually a good one for people watching outside West Bengal. Rana Prajapati says Ukraine versus England, both consistent teams in Euro 2020. Who will advance to the semis? I would want Ukraine to advance, but it looks less likely that Ukraine will, uh, you
Like
know,
the
beat
history of
England.
England, they are branded chokers of national teams. So let's hope.
Absolutely. Abhishek, just tell me. I mean, we talk every day. You do not.
Yeah.
You just listen to us. So I just want to know your view that which match have been best for you on your point of view, and which team's game have you enjoyed the most?
Switzerland. Switzerland
Okay,
versus France will be my favorite match, favorite
okay,
game.
and
No doubt.
as as a team wise, which team have, I mean, attracted you more in this particular tournament, apart from Germany, obviously.
Germany didn't attract me. Trust me, I'm disappointed with Germany. I'm really disappointed. It's nowhere close to being one of the my favorites. Like, of course, the emotion is attached, but when it comes to the gameplay, when it comes to the intent or character, Germany doesn't make it to the top three. Uh, for a team with uh, great character, or I would say Italy, the Italian, the Azzurri looks really solid. This is the team that didn't qualify for the last World Cup, and everybody thought that it's done. But it seems that this team is going to hit a lot of other teams or Latin teams in the coming year, and this team is going to cause a lot of trouble. And
Absolutely.
definitely, they are the favorites to win. Of course, England is one of them, but I'd say Italy has the upper hand in this particular measure because Italy is great defensively. You have two of the best. You have Chiellini and Bonucci at the back, and Niloy would agree it's his team at the end of the day. And we
Absolutely.
have attackers like Insigne scoring fabulous goals. So why not consider them as the favorites?
That's a valid point you have made. I mean, there was an old joke like, about Italy that Italy will not score against you, but they will not let you score as well.
Yeah, but
So I don't
they
know.
started scoring.
Absolutely, that's what I am trying to say. I mean, I don't know why people have such problem with that particular style of football. I really like it, but the thing is,
Yeah, it's
the
a
way
good, but
Italy
it's
have turned out into this particular tournament, and in
Yeah,
last few years after Mancini took the charge, my goodness, what a team they are! I mean, they will score a ton against you as well, and their defensive is solid, pretty solid as well, like last time. So that's look like a pretty complete team. I mean, feels like unbeatables. They have only conceded two,
yeah.
so that's fantastic.
and their
So
depth
so
is also frightening.
Hmm.
Exactly. The last time out when they were
Absolutely.
like on the brink of like giving away their lead or giving away their match, the depth in the squad actually helped them get the win. With
Absolutely.
GC came in and like it changed the whole dynamics of the game.
Absolutely.
So it's not just the first 11, it's like the bench strength is really good.
Absolutely.
But
And
I
interesting
would say,
statistic is that they have used 25 players, I guess, out of 26. So that's an interesting tactics which many of the
Yeah.
team have been failed to capitalize of their bench strength. But they have some solid midfield lineup, solid attacking lineup. My goodness, what a team!
the one thing
Yeah.
is that their average age is a bit high. Like I don't think they will get most of the players will get a chance after World Cup. Insigne is already 29 or 30, so is Immobile.
Yeah,
So
it's 30. Immobile
yeah,
is 31, I
Their
guess.
defense will be a bit
your
shaped up.
your
Like,
defenders also.
yeah,
Like Chiellini and Bonucci both are not going to play. I don't think will able to play after the World Cup.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So like
like Italy has got options. They have got Romagnoli. I don't know why he wasn't picked. Then they have got Bastoni, players like that. The midfield is pretty strong, and we know that going by the trend of Euros, any team that has a great line of midfield, great line of midfield supply, that usually is successful in Euros. And I could go as far as to say that this Italy's bench strength is better than what they had in 2012 finals even. Like they had Montolivo,
yeah,
Marchisio, Pirlo, all of them, but the bench strength this time is better than that year also.
yeah, the whole squad is consistent. And guys, we'll go head to the comments, but before that, let's head to the dynamics of Czech Republic versus Denmark.
Denmark.
Nila, if you can.
Yeah, sure. I would be sharing my screen now
Yeah,
to show you the tactical board basically.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
So here we have it: Denmark and Czech Republic. While Denmark lines up in more of a 3-4-3, and Czech Republic going with a traditional 4-2-3-1. Goes without saying, if you have watched their previous matches in Euro, that the Denmark are probably going to enjoy more of the possession and attack more, while Czech Republic sits back and tries to hit them on the counter. They have got players who can play ball out of the back, and they have got Schick, who is both great at shooting from long distance and is a great number 9 as well, playing inside the box. Firstly, looking at Denmark's dynamics, they have got three great centre backs. All of them are in good run of form. And what we have seen from their previous matches is out of the three, Vestergaard and Kayer, most probably they form a solid duo in centre back and they stay back, while Christensen joins Højbjerg in midfield, Højbjerg and Delaney. And sometimes even Christensen moving upwards facilitates Delaney to, you know, go around the box and play around
absolutely.
the striker for 1-2s, be it Poulsen or Dolberg. Also, they've got high flying fullbacks in Mile and Larsen, who led Braithwaite and Damsgaard. Damsgaard is a pretty sharp talent, only 19-20 years old, plays for Sampdoria. He's a good talent and he has been playing well for Denmark this season. like this Euro. So Denmark overall has got a pretty attacking setup. They've got Højbjerg to, play make from the deep. They've even got Christiansen who can almost play as a second CDM. He's great at passing. He's great at breaking lines, pressing the opponent, even went
Scoring
high and
bangers.
yeah, even scored a banger this Euro. So they've got a pretty balanced, like not balanced, but in more of an attacking sense, they have got a dynamic squad there. Both their fullbacks, especially Mel, like he pushes upwards and he can ping in those crosses, and he is like comfortable in both feet, so he can also cut inside and also ping crosses. We have got Damsgaard, we have got Brightwith, all three of whom can play as center forwards. So when they shift in fields, it gets tough for the opponent defense to deal with them. Be it Belgium, Finland, everyone had a tough time dealing with them. But as Nandi said before, like they miss too many chances and they have to stop doing that, or they would obviously get punished. So this is how they approach the game. On the other hand, we have got a traditional balanced formation, proper 4-2-3-1, like supposedly the most balanced formation along with 4-4-2. Uh, in their defense, the most attacking component here is down the right. Kofal, as Dotto pointed out, also Kofal and Masopus, they are their more attacking components. They burst down the right. Kofal overlaps, crosses for Sheikh. So this is their more attacking side. While on the other hand, Seluska, Kalas, they both stay back. Against a team like Netherlands, we could see that Kadewaj would push forward and help the attack like Kofal was doing also. But I think Boril is going to take more of a pragmatic approach, and like with during like while maintaining possession, Boril would tuck in as a third centre back here. Also, like I said before, Masopust would be moving forward, and Sevcic and Barak too. One interesting thing that we have seen in Czech Republic's games, that Sheikh, even though he is a great number nine, he is one of the best number nines in this Euro, according to performance, not according to caliber on paper, but according to performance, he has been one of the best number nines in this Euro. So not only does he make those runs inside the box and take up positions, he also drops deep, and these two are Czech Republic's most important players, Hols and Suchek. Like in the podcast we had pre-match for Netherlands versus Czech Republic, in that also we had discussed the importance these two have against Netherlands midfield, and that we had said that if these two can dominate the ball and these two can, stop Wijnaldum and De Jong, then Czech Republic might have a chance to go through, and that they did. Hols had a brilliant game. Suchek supported him. Sheik also was a like brilliant player to drop so deep, playing close to the pivots and playing off them. So he did a pretty good job. So these three right here are the most important players for Czech Republic, and for them to stand a chance against Delaney, Hojberg, Højbjerg. So Sheik obviously would need to drop down and help them out, because like not being snide about the other players, but I frankly don't think Barak or like Sevcic, they have that ability to drop deep and create from deep. So Sheikh has to do that. So this is their best chance of bypassing the Danish block of four ahead of their three-man defense and score against the run of play. And on the contrary, Denmark are going to obviously take advantage of Sheik dropping deep and try to shield him and limit him there. So this is as far as it goes about the basic dynamics of the game, and we would have to tune into the match to see how it actually plays out.
So I would like to ask you something. Of course, you showed us that how to break into the Danish defense and how to get the score. But what are the chances that actually that's going to happen? Like, it's just a random question.
Yeah, the chances that might happen are actually less on Czech side because uh, Denmark has a pretty good defense, and every good defense needs a leader in defense, and here does that job perfectly. Like he has been a proper leader on and off the pitch. Even in the first match we saw when like that incident with Ericsson happened. So he is a mentality monster. He never shies off like from giving the limelight to other players, to Vestergaard or Christiansen, and does the job from behind them, clears those loose balls, and is the last man in defense. He is pretty good, and even like Mail and Larsen, both of them are high flying attacking fullbacks, but they do track back, and they obviously have Hoiberg, who's done a tremendous job this year at Spurs this season, and also been supposedly the main man for Denmark. Uh, so they have got the capacity to deal with any threat that Schick possesses. But then again, we can't say anything for sure. But I think it's 60-40 tilted towards Denmark.
All right, 60-40 is a good number. Let's head to the comment section. Uh, I think we went through this comment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Akash Bishwa says, why substitute Shakiri in such an important match, that too when it's 1-1?
We have already gone
Scientists
through it.
are trying to find it out. If they
Absolutely.
get the conclusion, we'll definitely get back to you. Uh, Prakhar, I'm betting for Harry Kane scoring today. Is this investment good? Where is Feasty? We need that guy to actually give you. That guy is a business on it in itself. So, money man. Akash Bishwas, thoughts on Busquets? His return has changed the Spain team completely. First of
Absolutely.
all,
Yeah.
I
Busquets and
would like to
Aspilicueta.
say First of all, I would like to say, how the hell did he play for 120 minutes? How? Busquets.
Absolutely.
I never
Like he,
expected him to complete even 90, but forget 90,
Possibly,
did
possibly
120.
he's working. Possibly he's working on his fitness a bit. So the thing is, we were
and he
also
was brilliant
discussing.
also.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
exactly.
course.
He played brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely, and we were also discussing on the last show when we covered Spain. I have already mentioned that Busquets' inclusion in the team has changed the dynamism of the midfield. Like Pedri and the other midfielders like Koke or someone like that had much of a freedom of going forward, and Busquets was doing the I mean he was trying to block those plays and moving the ball forward. And Spain have still, I want to say that Spain have not been that much tested yet. I would like to say how their approach would be against Italy, because Italy's front three would drop press them, but I don't know whether they're gonna play, how they're gonna play against that particular lineup. But till now, what I have seen, Busquets' inclusion have been spot on from Luis Enrique, so I can't say anything about him much. Yeah, so as I guess Abhishek is having an internet connection, so we can continue with the show. So I would like to take the next comment. That is, who is the best young player of this tournament till now? Pedri for me, Bikram Chaudhary said. What's your opinion, guys?
Like a young player, like up to which age are we considering it as a young? Uh, 25, 24.
I'm back.
No,
I'm back.
take it 20 or 23, up to 22, right?
Then obviously it's if up to 22, then nowhere, no one is near Pedri.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. He had some
Uh,
brilliant
so
tournament.
all four of us agree to this, that it's going to be Pedri.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really brilliant tournament, and there was some
He's
chances that Phil Foden or some other players taking the grand stage in this particular Euro, but they have not been able to live up to the expectations. So Pedri have played
In all
most of the important matches, so they
Nah,
have been brilliant.
I thought it would be a like battle between Pedri and Mason Mount. Mason Mount going like, after that Corona incident with Gilmore. Pedri, obviously Pedri, and Pedri is just 19 years old. I think he's not 19 till now. He's 18. He'll turn 19 after a few months.
And Mount is around 20 or 20 to 23. So
Yeah,
keeping aside those Chelsea agenda, you can say that Pedri is good. I mean,
And
that would be better
like
for all
the
of
thing
us.
about Pedri is for a player that plays in that role, the 8-10 hybrid role. you expect a player that is sort of a luxury player, that doesn't do the dirty work or track back. But Pedri does it all. He runs all around the field. He tackles opponent. He wins those balls back, and then again takes the attacking run, sets player up. So he is a sort of an all rounder, and like being so mature at 18 years of age, I just hope he doesn't fall off from this. So pretty well positioned to be one of the best players in Euro this
Okay.
like this Euro.
In
Yeah.
between all the Mbappe and Haaland hype, Pedri is becoming one of the best.
Absolutely.
And I don't want Pedri getting that type of hype.
Yeah, it might get to his head and then mess with it. But he's in a club where I think if Messi stays, it's going to be good for him because he's going to be in a supporting role for Messi. And as Niloy said, it's a hybrid of 8 and 10, so he's definitely going to improve with also with the number 6 like De Jong in the team. So it's like the perfect environment for a player of his nature. I won't say capabilities, his nature. He looks like a Barca player, the Xavi, Iniesta kind of breed.
The way Pedri, Busquets, Alba, De Jong are playing, Barca fans are like on the sky right now.
So you already wearing the jersey, man. All right, guys, let's get into the next match. The match where I want the underdog to win badly. It's Ukraine versus England. I want Ukraine to take the revenge on Germany, but then let's focus on the match. How do you guys feel about that match? How is it going to turn out?
It's not coming home.
Let's hear it from the English fan.
I don't know. I mean, of course, I would want my team to win, but then again, it's football. Anything can happen. By the way, let's get in. I mean, before going into the lineups and all, I would like to ask one thing to the German fans. So when do your team gonna play the quarterfinal?
Uh, I don't know if we get a striker, and I'd say that Hungary deserve to be in the round of 16, not Germany. Uh,
Okay.
the way that they qualified, if that's the margin for you to qualify to the next round and qualify from the groups, then you better not qualify. You just stop playing, go and like wash your boots and have some beer and just stop playing, man. That's just not Germany. That's not how the Germans work. That was in Germany. So I'd say that if this is the attitude, we might not just qualify for the next one. We have, but
Hansi Flick is back. Hopes are high. No more three back with high defensive line.
yeah, hopes are high. But you don't have a striker. You don't have someone who can
No, no. Right
consistently
now
get you
we have a
goals.
proper striker. Like we low completely ignored Voland.
Yeah, he ignored Volland because 4-3-3, Volland doesn't stand out.
3-4-3, like playing a back three with high defensive line is always a suicide, and without a defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
It will
exactly.
Kimmich
And
Goretzka in mid will obviously make huge changes, huge difference for the team.
see, this is the reason. I think we were talking about it when Nandi asked me if I would uh, put. I have three players, but I would take two. So I told Kimmich and Goretzka, and I would kick out Cruz. And this is the main reason. Cruz being one of the most technically gifted or technically sound players Germany has ever had, but he doesn't fit into Hans's structure because he doesn't help defensively. Just standing on the last line and giving and distributing balls is not defensive like duties. So it's something else. Even though he has the talent, and I think to some extent that might also be a reason that Cruz decided to
He's
you
Cruz
know
knows that Hansi
retire.
Flick will not start him.
Yes, so he's not a favorite in Hans's 11 because Goretzka and Kimmich are going to be the undoubted pivot in the team. All right, so we are just swaying out of the topic. Let's focus on Ukraine and England. So what do we have here? How do you? Let's start with the England fan, man. But what are you worried about? And are you even worried about Ukraine?
Yes, of course, I'm worried about Ukraine. I mean, it's a knockout tournament, and with the past history of England getting knocked out by petty teams, even so, that's a fearsome thing for us. So the thing is,
Some English
uh,
arrogance there. Petty teams.
no, so I'm stating petty teams because they were not that good like us, but still they were able to beat us. I am praising them. I am not having my only showing my arrogance. But the thing is, that's what I fear that they might. But still, this breed of English team has something good about them that they stick with each other, not like
Yeah.
the past generation where who had some much better talents, but they failed to back each other up. So this English team is looking really good for us. I don't know whether it's coming home or not, but I would love to. And worried. I mean, for that, I would like to show some England's vulnerabilities
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
form of
Let's go ahead.
tactical lineup. So the thing is, as the news is coming out that England will play with a 4-3-3. I guess Kevin Phillips is having suspension due to, I mean, higher amount of yellow cards, and the thing is, uh, Shaka is, I guess, injured, and Grealish will start in place of him, and Mason Mount would be back in the place because Kevin Phillips is not coming. And why Mason Mount will start is because Kevin Phillips was trying to get into this kind of a zone, and when the German defense was pressing him, he was expertly pressing those balls, and he was trying to progress the ball, and he had done that perfectly. So that's why I guess they will again go back to that particular 4-2-3-1 formation where they will have a defensive solidarity as well as Mount and Grealish's brilliance of getting into the midfield and going to and taking those particular balls. And the thing is, one thing is, Shaw has been brilliant in the last match. So his inclusion has added some pretty dynamism on the wide areas of the pitch for England. Still, I feel that Starling would have been able to look at him while he was these particular areas. Many a times he ignored him. Otherwise, the attack would have been much fruitful, which Rashford does. Whenever Rashford gets into this position, Shaw just blindly get into a run into this kind of an area because he knows that Rashford will somehow get a ball into this kind of a zone, and that many a times gets the ball into this particular area. And with uh, striker like Harry Kane, you always fancy these kind of a chances and these kind of attacking transitions. So that's what I feel Starling should do. And apart from that, Starling has been really good. I would like to appreciate him for his performance in this particular tournament. And if we talk about the vulnerabilities of England, yes, if you remember on the last day when Kevin Phillips, I mean, I'm taking Henderson, just thinking that Kevin Phillips. So Kevin Phillips and Rice was high on the pitch. The front three of Germany was rotating a lot, and it was some kind of a 3 versus 3 situation. So in that particular moment, they have got them. Try to remember that in the first half, uh, Warner got a chance into this particular zone, but he shot into the leg of Pickford. That was a save. Then again, Havertz got a chance into this kind of area. Rice had to come back and tackle him. Otherwise, that would have been another goal scoring opportunity for them. And then the last miss by Muller, that was shambolic from him. We did not expect that. So this kind of a byline areas or this kind of the gaps in the English defense is worrying me a bit. What if that also becomes a pattern today and the chances are taken by the Ukrainian team? So that can be again, we have to see that is coming home and it's not coming home again. So let's see what happens. And if we talk about the Ukrainian team, that's an interesting team. They start with a 4-3-3, and it becomes kind of, what can I say, kind of a 3-4-3. This man comes into the byline or makes it, and one of their left back tucks in into making it 3-4-3, and their right back comes up. So that makes an asymmetrical 3-4-3. And this man has also been fantastic. This will be a game for both the left backs, and both the left back has been crucial for their team success. Shaw and Zinchenko. So, as you remember, the Zinchenko scored the goal from this kind of an area. So that means their fullbacks progression was pretty high, and they have a particular defensive setup that could back that kind of a defensive progression. I mean, their fullback progression into the further areas, so they are not afraid of putting their fullbacks higher up the pitch. And not only Zinchenko did that, this man also did that in the last match, Karvaev. And if you remember, that was a ball from, I guess, Sharparenko into this kind of a zone, and then a brilliant footwork from Yarolenko got him into this position, and that was a thunder strike by Zinchenko. So this can also be another pattern which they could try to, you know, England will play with a 3-4-3. So they might also have some areas in the byline. So, and as Shaw will be high up, so what if their fullback tucks in into this kind of a place? And another thing I have liked about Ukraine is that their ability to get into this kind of a zone. You try to remember that Zinchenko got the ball for the second goal, and that Dovivic came into this kind of a position and scored the goal. And it was from nowhere. I mean, that was a perfect striker's finish from in
And it
between the
was an
lines.
inch perfect cross. Like the
Absolutely, it
cross
was an
was
instant
perfect.
goal. Absolutely, there was no second thought about it. So that was a striker's finish, and the way he got into the space was absolutely praiseworthy. And this is another area which I have seen. Try to remember that some areas England was a bit vulnerable in the defensive corners. So this kind of area I would like to think. I mean, I hope that Gareth Southgate have already worked into this kind of an areas. So I'm looking for a pretty brilliant match, and I hope this turned out to be another good encounter against both the teams. And that's it.
Absolutely. This Euro has been like we've been watching Euros for quite a long time now, and
Absolutely,
I think this one particularly this one has been the standout one
absolutely,
because the way the underdogs have beaten the crap out of the big guys, it's it's actually exciting to see.
It's a
But
trend
for
that's going on from World Cup.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
absolutely,
It's unpredictable. The unpredictable nature of football has come out so much, and it's brilliant to see.
absolutely.
And who
You
expected
were
Switzerland to knock out, the world
And they
champions?
almost knocked out Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
almost,
yeah, almost,
almost.
almost, yeah. And Abhishek, you were talking about that. You have not seen that much of hero. I have also not seen that kind of an hero, but for some personal reasons, 2004 Euro will always be in my memories, and I have always expressed that the inclusion of Wayne Rooney into the world stage, and he scoring 4 goals and getting three particular back-to-back man of the match, and schooling the likes of Zidane and France team. And I still believe that if he hadn't been injured at that particular match against Portugal, England could have won that particular tournament with the way they were playing. So yes, that will always be one of my personal favorite Euros. And apart from that, this particular tournament will always stay in my memory. I have never seen such a tournament like that. I mean,
Yes.
day in day out, there are no favorites in this particular tournament. I mean, you try to think, you think that yes, this team has an opportunity, and this team has the ability or capability to go
Right.
through the next round, and the next day they are out. They are
Yeah.
out by the likes of Switzerland. So that's why this will always be in all of our memories, I guess.
No, absolutely. Let's head down to the comments a bit.
No, no, like the thing about
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney wasn't injured against Portugal. I think that I
No,
blink
no,
Right.
he
Right.
was
Ronaldo doing
injured.
that.
No. That was
No,
in 2006. That was in 2006.
that was in
You are
Okay.
talking
2006.
about,
Okay.
yeah. You are talking
Uh,
about World Cup. I mean, in 2004 he
yeah.
got a foot injury.
After that, Ronaldo returned to Manchester United and
Yeah,
got some
and
stick.
yeah, I mean, they have handshaked a bit. I mean, the things got sorted out. But the
Uh,
way you are talking about, the thing you are talking about, Shawn, is it was in 2004. In 2004, when Rooney got a foot injury in that particular match against Portugal, and in 2006 that eye blink happened.
yeah. Yeah. Before I head down to the comments, I have just one question for Niloy here. That is, your team, as you told me, your favorite for this Euro will be Italy. So this was the team that didn't qualify for the World Cup, and now this is a team that is schooling Belgium. How does that transition look to you, in particular, as a fan? Like we are not fans, so we are looking it as a neutral guy. But as a fan, how do you feel about
Like it feels good. I'm not that much fan of like not that much of a fan of Italian team, but like I have got a connection to them since my idol Diego Maradona is revered in Italy. It's like his second home. So like I feel that love for Italian team, and like not seeing a team like them in the World Cup was disappointing, definitely, because like we have grown up seeing Italy. In even in 2006, we some people had expected France to win the World Cup, but there were some like me that wanted Italy to win. So having watched a team like that growing up and then seeing the team not even qualify for World Cup, that was disappointing. But thank God Mancini came, and he is known to make teams that don't win anything for a lot of years. And like Man City, he made Man City win the league after 45 years. So he's the kind of man that can pick up a team and tell them that boys, we gotta do this. So he's a great guy, and hopefully he does the job this time with Italy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
When Italy did score, he had no reaction. He was like, yeah, he had to score. He was like just numb. And then they scored the second time, and he was also numb. And that's when I knew that this team is going somewhere.
yeah,
Eloy, you had some takeaways on this particular match. Let's go ahead with it.
yeah. First thing I would like to point out is like when Nandi was explaining the tactics, which I noticed was this is going to be a battle of fullbacks down the right, like down the right for Ukraine. Karayev versus Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw would be bombarding into his zone, and Karayev also, we have seen him move up the pitch because Yarmolenko sort of leaves a void in that right flank because he roams in and around the box too much. So this is going to be a battle of fullbacks, who contains whom. We have to see that. The most interesting part, and one disadvantage for him is that Grealish is also playing down that flank probably. So it might end up being a 2v1. Something interesting that I have seen in Ukraine's play this year is that even though they are one of the most attacking teams in this season's Euro, they like to go gung ho in their attack, and you know they don't care much about if they concede one, they would score two. But despite all that, Ukraine are a team that are disciplined. You never see Ukraine break their formation. They move up and down the pitch in a like transition very smoothly. The three back never breaks. The CDM always stays in front of the defense and the midfield, and even players like Zinchenko that are given the free role, even they eventually come back in their own area, and left back they defend that area. So Ukraine are a well drilled side. All kudos to Shevchenko for that. For me, Petkovic and Shevchenko are two of the best coaches this season in Euro. And so England would not be like I said, it would be a cakewalk for England, but England would have to pay some respect to Ukraine. If they like take them too easy, it might backfire on them. And something also very interesting is that Yaremchuk, despite being the number 9 and having all the qualities of a number 9, even he's even physical, hits the ball well, he tends to sacrifice his goals for Yarmolenko. He drops deep, makes those runs, as takes the center backs with him, and makes space for Yarmolenko. So these are the things that are going to be threats for England. Obviously, for England, we have got a player like Luke Shaw, and with Henderson inclusion, I think Luke Shaw has got even more freedom, and even Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw. Probably, I think England with the ball they're going to transition into a Metoro formation 3-2-3-2, and where Luke Shaw enters zone 14 and Sterling and Kane tuck in as strikers. So a very interesting tactical battle on our hands. Let's see what happens.
And also as you mentioned, the 3-2-3-2. I mean, try to remember on the last day when England was playing a three at the back. Maguire was playing kind of a sweeper role on the left side of the pitch. I mean, he was bombarding with those balls, and he was trying to get those balls into the left side of the pitch and helping Luke Shaw, or maybe when Starling was dropping deep, to get the balls from him to help him, because Havertz was trying to press him on the left side. So that's an interesting thing which England has already implemented in this particular tournament. And if I mean, however you criticize Gareth Southgate, some of his tactics has been really interesting and really spot on at times as well. That's what I would like to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I won't deny it. And Niloy has rightly pointed out the facts, and yes, absolutely, England has to pay respect to Ukraine, else it might just backfire. You just never know, and particularly in this Euro, the small teams or the underdogs, as we call them, are actually pulling through great feats of achievement. So you have England has to be careful, really careful. Uh, Yes, let's head down to the comments. Post 2010, Italy have been different, and now they're scoring a lot of goals without compromising the defense. It's like a complete team, I'd say. A team which scores goal, a team which defends, a team which has a good midfield and a good goalkeeper. What else do you need, man?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think they are the favorites to win this Euro. Like, of course, like I think it's going to be Italy versus England. If the tallies are going right, I think it's a possibility. If England win today and the next match as well, semi-final. And I think semi-final is between Italy and Spain, the first
Yes,
semi-final.
Italy and Spain, I think, will be the best match of this tournament. Like two different ideologies,
Yeah,
kind of different ideologies.
creativity meets beat the crap out of you. So it's going to be
Like this
fun.
time, they both have the same ideology. Like both are pretty gung ho in attack, and
And
Yeah,
the thing about Spain
both
is
are
like they are
reviving to some extent.
Spain is more like Spain will be like making triangles in the midfield, but other thing like Italy will be trying to put more players in the box or taking it on the break. Like it
Yeah,
will be really
if
good match.
there's a triangle, the Italy is going to just deploy Verratti. He's going to
That's the
And
thing.
just
and
How
go
are
and
they
do
going
his
to
thing.
combat
absolutely,
those triangles?
and
Yeah,
also Insigne have the capability of dropping deep and making it a four, as I have already
exactly.
mentioned
Insigne versus Aspilicueta.
yesterday. Absolutely. So it can be. I mean, if it's a three versus three battle, Italy has the ability of Insigne who can drop deep and make it a four versus three.
And
So the
also,
triangle is gone. So it's
I
gonna
think
be
see,
really.
Spinazzola will also be very crucial because
Spinazzola is
he's a
injured.
very
Spinazzola is
He's
creative.
got
injured,
he's
so
injured for
I
six
guess
months.
yeah. So
He
I
has
Is
guess
it?
Achilles.
It's gone to 6 months. I didn't
yeah,
follow
yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
one.
has Achilles
yeah.
injury. It can be
Achilles
more
injury.
than 6 months.
Yeah.
Arey.
So that can actually change the complexion of this game, and
Yeah, now
anything can
things
happen.
might
Nah, nah,
just
don't
change.
say Emerson scored a goal in UCL.
Wow. Chelsea agenda. Yeah. Let's move on to the next comment.
even if we if we are talking about Spain making triangles, I would like to point something out. Triangles and Italy, I link something it is that Italy are going to run circles around Spain, like we see in a pizza, and then slice it up in triangles and have it with
Uh,
you know
like
Spanish
I
football and
think
stuff.
I think the same
Carbonara
thing
sauce.
Balotelli said in 2012. Shakira will see me running circles around PK. We know what happened after that.
Shakira's circles. Sorry. I heard it wrong. So yeah. Let's move on to the next comment.
All right. Next comment. PC is sleeping yesterday. He ate Morata, Sarabia, Busquets, penalties, brilliant penalty, and Spinazzola, Immobile, Lukaku. This guy, how can this guy be so cursed? I have no
Absolutely.
idea.
And he shows you. I mean, after the end of the match, he shows that look, I have taken them in the team, and they have not performed well. So that's been a trend in this particular tournament, and in every fantasy he plays. Such a cursed guy. My goodness.
And it has been a trend in touchline as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want him want Bruno as his permanent captain in the next FPL.
He just might do that. Damsag has been a game changer for Denmark. Worth the mention here.
Yeah, Nila has already
Uh,
mentioned that when he
Best
was
player for
explaining.
Denmark.
Absolutely. Nila already mentioned that when he was explaining that tactic. So we have already had a bit of discussion. So yeah, as Abhishek is already not there, okay, he came again. I
Some
guess
fluctuation going on, guys.
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
really
So
sorry.
no issue. Yeah,
If Southgate fails to win the Gareth Southgate trophy, then it's surely coming home. Yes.
absolutely.
I hope he wins it, but yeah, you know. Uh, anyway, Abhishek suffering from cold. Yes, my friend, a little bit of cold, but it's COVID negative, so nothing to worry about it. I'll be fine by morning. Next, it's coming home. Sancho is coming home. Yes, yes.
like what home Sancho tweeted like Manchester United shit team like 3 years ago. There's a tweet.
It's
What kind of
he's
home is
coming
that?
to
Yeah, that
Manchester. He's
happens.
coming to Manchester.
Yeah,
But
that happens. I mean, you can do that when you are young, but when you realize that it was bad, you make this kind of reverse line and you come back
I just
to the
have a
original team of
weird
Manchester.
gut feeling that he's not going to be as good as he was at Dortmund with Manchester
Okay,
United. At
okay,
least in the
okay.
first season. At least in
Same
the
here.
first season.
At least in the
I
first
have
season,
a
because
gut feel.
when you are coming from that kind
Yes,
of a league
yes,
and
exactly.
getting into the tough league, it can
Yes.
be a bit tricky for him. Yeah. So we don't have much time. Let's get into the
Yeah.
next comment.
Germany lost when they started Turbo Timo. I would prefer Timo actually did good other
Good.
than the miss.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
than the miss
I have
in the
That
already
the
match
I have
in
miss
the
was
already
also not a miss. Yeah, the angle was quite
Yes,
acute there.
I have
exactly. So
already tweeted that everyone was expected for Warner, but Muller
yes.
turned out. So
Yes, that is okay. Muller, the way Muller has contributed to the German national team, I can't say one miss is fine, no issues.
yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry for
Sorry
joining
for
late.
joining late. All right, you missed it. A lot of fun. Check. Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. Now, yeah. So let's get into the predictions before we take this kind of a comment.
All right. Let's start with Niloy today. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Yeah, for both the matches.
Yeah.
yeah. Of course.
For the first match, Denmark, Czech Republic, I would say 2-1 for Denmark, and England, Ukraine. Let's have a interesting match, 3-1 for England.
All right. Shayon.
3-1 for Denmark. Match 2-2. Hello, am I there?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Repeat.
yeah. You
Repeat.
are good. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Repeat.
You are audible. Yeah. I
You
guess
are
I
he is
audible.
having
think
some
is
congestion. Yeah.
no issues. Nandi, just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the first match will be interesting. It can go to penalties again, as we are seeing the trend.
Yeah.
So for me, it's going to be kind of a 1-1 or 2-1 into the penalties, or otherwise a straight win for Czech Republic, a 2-1 for Czech Republic. And in the next match, I want my team to win by 2 goals or 3 goals, but it's not going to be that easy. So kind of a 2-1 or 1-1 for and go to the penalties as well.
All right. For me, I think I'd say 2-2 in the Denmark versus Czech Republic. It's 2-2 goes to extra time, and after that, I don't know what's going to happen. But
Yeah, yeah,
I want this to go to extra time, and one of the reasons being we don't have a show lined up at that time, so why not just watch and enjoy the match? And
absolutely.
for the England versus Ukraine match, I'd say 3-1. England is going to win, and Sterling is going to get on the score sheet today.
Again, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, Sharon, carry on.
Shayan,
You were
yes,
Uh,
you're
Denmark scoring 3-1, and the England match I think 2-2. After that to the penalties, and then Henderson missing the penalties, then going on to manage England after a few years.
that's some detailed hatred coming on from you. I can understand, but
all
Chuck the
right.
England moment. Chuck the England moment.
Chuck the England. All right, let's quickly go through the last three comments here. Feast Future says Ukraine. One second. What happened? Yeah. Ukraine won England 3. All right. Nandi, congratulations. We all know what's going to happen now. Sheik and Keane brace. All right. Uh, Shaw versus Zinchenko. So a Manchester derby long before the season.
yeah,
Yes. 2004 Euro was a glory for of underdogs. Now this time too, an underdog might win the trophy. My bets on Czech, Denmark. Whoever wins tonight, they will go and win this trophy. I think Italy is still going to take it. It plays too good.
I guess
I
I
want
guess
Denmark to.
I guess one of England or Czech will win this particular tournament.
All right, let's
Because of
find out.
you think Czech will win any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, as I already told you in the morning, I don't want to disclose that now, but I will have. I mean, when you ask me in WhatsApp, I will answer you by.
All right, this is something I need to investigate on.
Yeah,
Shit, looking like Feisty is more hungry today. He is as ever. Feisty warned everyone. Nandi, let's go ahead. You do it. Yeah, PC warned everyone yesterday that Sarabia is his captain, and it clicked. Okay. I
shit.
mentioned Damsgaard as one of the best young players of this. Cool, but I'd still say Pedri. his contribution. But then, all right, 2 minutes left. We have to wrap up now. 2-1 for Denmark, 2-0 for England. All right. We'll find out. Guys, this show is in collaboration with the Tactics Show and Stat Attack. And we are almost at the busy end of Euro. And I hope you have followed them till now. For the new viewers, if you want proper in-depth analysis of teams, gameplays, players, managers, so the Tactics Show is your place. The link is in the description. Go and subscribe to the channel. And if you want crazy stats, proper heat maps, XGs, and uh, through which you get the numbers and you can analyze the game, that's where Stat Attack comes in. Go and check out their Twitter handle and be sure to follow them. Yes, link in the description. Fistiuccia says last is prediction of Italy 2-1 Belgium. You never know. Thanks for the show, guys. Keep going. Thank you for watching. And 1 minute to kick off, guys. Uh, enjoy both the matches. Very few matches are left. Uh, so
Only
mine
three after this.
only three after this. So let's enjoy it to the fullest and let's hope the best team wins.
And we
It's
will be
not
back with
Germany,
this.
but then the other teams than Germany. So
We'll be back with
uh,
the three matches.
yes, absolutely. We'll do that. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.